Check 1, 2, audio tests. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Hello everyone and welcome back to Williamson Sports Center on the campus of Skidmore College in beautiful downtown Saratoga Springs. It is wet and cold outside here on the final night of January. But one thing is for sure, if this is anything like the women's game, it is going to be red hot in here. Skidmore with a desperate need for a win over a Union team that really should be a game that they can grab. They match up well against Union. This is a Union team that is 8-9 overall, 4-6 in the conference. Skidmore, however, as those of you who have been following Skidmore's season so far this year, not having the year that Coach Joe Brook would have wanted. 5-12 overall, 1-9 in conference play, sitting in dead last in the Liberty League. However, I believe it's the top 8 teams, I think, in this conference. I got to check it again. I know that they just changed the rules recently. Not everybody makes the conference tournament, but Skidmore's still in the hunt here to be able to grab that final spot if they could string together a couple of wins late in the year. However, that's going to be a tall task as they have some of the top teams in the conference coming in. As you look at right now, again, the game against Union here tonight. Union is, again, towards the bottom of the conference a little bit. They're third to last right now, but as at this moment, it's between them and Bard for that final spot. But after that, on Sunday, they have number 1 RPI coming in, then Ithaca, who's number 2 in the conference, who just beat us a few nights ago, followed by Bard, and then Hobart, and then RIT, then St. Lawrence. I mean, they have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. Skidmore would have wanted to get a couple of wins under their belt already going into that tough stretch. Now they're in desperation mode. If this team wants to make the Liberty League tournament, have any hope of making the Liberty League tournament, they've got to get a couple of wins. And it starts tonight against a very winnable game against Union, who is also on a bit of a losing streak here. They've lost the last 2 in a row. Union is coming off of an overtime defeat down at Vassar, which happens to be Skidmore's only conference win of the year, is against Vassar, and then a loss to RPI by 5, 65-60. That preceded by 3 straight wins. Again, against this Skidmore team, 80-57 when these two teams met back down in Schenectady on the 11th. Then they beat St. Lawrence and beat Clarkson. So this is a Union team that, again, they score a lot of points. I mean, I'm looking at some of these games here in the 80s. They've consistently scored 75-plus almost every game. The only games that Union hasn't scored 70-plus are games that they have lost. You look at a loss to Hobart, they scored 55. RIT, they still lost, scored 78. Lost to Bard, scored 59. A conference loss here to, as again they played Emory, who's number 1. And again, this team played the number 1 team in the country for D3 and only lost by 6. Scored 71 in that one. You look at another loss in conference here. Ithaca 71, and they only got that 71 at the buzzer. So if this team doesn't score 70, chances are they're not going to win. This team is able to score 70 very consistently, and it's something that Skidmore has been struggling with, because you go back and you look at Skidmore's last couple of games. I mean, they only scored 69 against Ithaca, 70 against Bard, 92 against Vassar, and a 92-81 win, which is arguably their best game in the last couple of seasons offensively. But then 64, 76, 57, 61, 53. I mean, this is a Skidmore team that struggled to score all year, but they've also struggled to put teams away. This is a team that has had leads. Remember, they were up 11-2 on Hobart before giving that game away, letting them right back into it. And then the Statesmen never looked back. So, again, this is a game where it's got a lot of history behind it. Skidmore is 22-21 all time against Union since both teams had joined this conference, but they've lost the last 3. Skidmore has really, in the last 10 years or so, kind of struggled with Union. This is a game that's always tough for them on their schedule. You go all the way back to 2018. They lost twice in the 2017-18 season. They won, but then they won twice in the 18-19, lost twice in the 19-20, 21-22, won twice, split in 22-23, and then lost 3 straight since. So Union has been a bit of an Achilles heel for them. But the women's team, it's been the same story on that side. They came out and got a big win here today, though it was a little closer in the end than they may have wanted. But, again, they came out and got that win. So Skidmore going to be in their road greens here today as the doubleheader rules state. They'll be in white on Sunday against RPI. But, again, a must-win to have any shot going forward for the Thoroughbreds. And this is a very young team, a lot of underclassmen who are really just starting to come into their own here, play better basketball as the season goes along. And they got a Union team that out of this gauntlet of a schedule, I'm not saying that Union's a layup by any means. Union is a very, very solid team. They always have been. But of this gauntlet of a schedule that they have coming up, this is the one they've got to win. And it all starts here at home, in front of their home crowd. Students are back in session. This one should be electric. So, again, voice of the Thoroughbreds, Chris McSwiggan here with you. We're going to take you courtside for the starting lineups and national anthem in just a second.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Williamson Sports Center for the second half of our doubleheader in Liberty League action men's basketball. The Garnet Chargers of Union College take on the Thoroughbreds of Skidmore College. Before we commence with tonight's starting lineups, we ask you to please stand and join with us as we honor America with a presentation of our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the Union College Garnet Chargers. A 6-point bonus off the board from Voorheesville, New York, number 5, Tanner
And starting for Union, number 5, sophomore 6'1" from Voorheesville, New York, Tanner Tedesco. And number 12, Matthew Garside, sophomore from Kings Park, New York. Number 24, Christian Dufort, 6'5", from Saratoga Springs, local kid. 32, Brendan Reed, sophomore from Hamburg, New York. And number 33, Jack Plesser, sophomore from Fairfield, Connecticut. So a young Union team and a young Thoroughbreds team. You know that both these teams, are still figuring things out for the season. As Aiden Roy, 6'2", sophomore guard from Larchmont, New York. Number 23, Hakeem Daphnis, 6'3", sophomore from Randolph, Massachusetts. Number 5, 6'5", sophomore from Norwell, Mass, Charlie Phantom. Number 14, the big man, Joey Skorick, 6'10", junior from Ridgewood, New Jersey. And number 4, 6'7", sophomore from Somerville, Mass, Alexi Downey. You look at 6'7", 6'5", 6'10", 6'2", and 6'3 for Union, 6'1", 6'3", 6'5", 6'7", and 6'5. So Skidmore, again, with the size advantage, that's sort of been something that has been a benefit of theirs all season. Just hasn't always used it correctly. But they do have a size advantage here today against a Union team that is scrappy. Both these teams, as I was saying, are young. You know, a lot of the times in the Liberty League, you'll have veteran-led teams, graduate students, a lot of seniors, whatnot. I mean, that Ithaca team, I think, had, 4 starters and a grad student in their starting lineup, something like that. So they're a very young team on both sides, as it's going to be Skorick jumping against Brendan Reed here. And again, about a 3 or 4 inch advantage, and it will be thoroughbred ball to start things off. Again, Skidmore coming right to left on your screen or on your radio in their greens here today. White piping down the side with the outline, the outline in yellow numbers as the 3 is in the air. Aiden Roy scores to set things off here for the Thoroughbreds. Again, Union in their home normally, whites with the Old English numbers, Garnet Chargers here, the Garnet numbers and Garnet stripe down the side. So first shot is up and off the mark here for Jack Plesser. As Plesser got the hook shot, Alexi Downey was there. It hit the front of the rim, and there was a mad scramble for it over to the Skidmore bench, but it will be out of bounds off of Union as no one touched it after Plesser released it. So 3-0 here, Thoroughbreds in front. Aiden Roy setting off scoring for the Thoroughbreds. Scorer gets it left side arc. And now he's going to drive. Big man trying to go to the lane. Finds Daphnis instead. Step back. 3 ball. Halfway down. No. Downey goes over and back as he tried to reach over the top of Brendan Reed. Downey 6'7". Brendan Reed also 6'7". So it's not like he could just reach over the top cleanly. They're about the same size, and he's going to get tagged for the foul. So first on him, first on the team. Just underway here from Williamson. And 3 ball in the air. Back rim, no. And that one's going to be corralled by Phantom, who gets it over to Roy. Shot missed by Tedesco that time as Roy, does he want another 3? He does. Steps into it with a hand in his face. Oh, Aiden, number 15. Aiden Roy has 6 quick ones. 6-0 here, Thoroughbreds in front. Another fast start for the Thoroughbreds, something that they have made a habit of recently. The problem is they can't hold on to these leads and finish off games. But again, it is a new day here. As Aiden Roy drives the lane, nice pass inside, and I don't think Downey was ready for it as Aiden Roy came slashing through, split 2 defenders, made the round-the-back pass, hit Downey right in the chest plate. But he had it bounce off. I thought Roy was going up with that. Instead, he gets a ball to the sternum, but it'll be an early Skidmore turnover. But again, still a 6-0 lead here, so 2, maybe 3 possession lead already. As down low, up and under, that one's good, and Union's on the board. As Brendan Reed scores. Again, 6'7", sophomore from Hamburg, New York. Joey Skorick has it top arc now over to Phantom. Charlie Phantom turns, spins, looks, finds Daphnis left side. Daphnis inside Downey. Downey at the free throw line extended. Now sets the screen. Aiden Roy with the floater. Got it. Aiden Roy's the hot hand right now. Aiden's got all 8 for the Thoroughbreds early, similar to what Charlie Phantom did when he had the first 9 a few games ago. except all of his were from behind the arc. But either way, I mean, Phantom and Roy are going to be a deadly combination here in the backcourt for the Thoroughbreds for the next couple of seasons, as that's going to be a missed shot corralled by the Thoroughbreds and back down again. Roy's got it, handoff to Daphnis left side. Daphnis now taking the screen, coming around the arc as he finds, finds Phantom. Phantom back to Roy. He's got the hot hand and he hits another. It's 11-2 Thoroughbreds, and it's Aiden Roy with 11. And Aiden Roy, absolutely electric. Boy, he came to play today, as did this Skidmore defense. But, boy, Aiden Roy, 6'2", sophomore from Larchmont. Between him and Charlie Phantom, both being sophomores here, we've got at least 2 more years of great basketball here and electric starts between these two. Ball goes off of Skidmore out of bounds. It'll be Union ball here as Reed hands off. That's Matthew Garside. Garside inside, and the layup is too strong off the glass. So that one missed by Christian Dufort. Skidmore's got it again, flying down the floor from right to left. Aiden Roy, boy, now he's just getting greedy as he pulled that one up, took the shot, almost made that one as well, and gets the block on the other side. So he rode Tanner Tedesco all the way down the floor. Tedesco tried to make a move and go up with it, and he gets the block. So 16:35 to play here. 11-2. This is the exact same start Thoroughbreds had against Hobart before Hobart came back into the game, and once they took the lead, they never trailed. As Aiden Roy, all 11 early on here, and there's going to be a foul and a couple of free throws coming. As you've already got 3 fouls now on the team, and going to the line here will be Matthew Garside, sophomore from Kings Park. And first one's good. And second one also right down Broadway, so 11-4. Again, Skidmore off to a fast start, but has been going on 2 minutes without a bucket here. As Aiden Roy gets it left side on the pass from Daphnis, finds Phantom, thought about the shot, now pulls it down, dribbles right into Brendan Reed, who set his feet well. Hand back off Daphnis. Daphnis pulls up 15, now pulls it back down. 8 on the shot clock. Phantom's got it. Inside Downey. 5 seconds, 4 second shot clock. Downey using the body in space off the glass, no. And boy, I don't think Downey knew how much time was on the shot clock there. As he was, the urgency to get to the basket just wasn't present on that possession. As Union back down the floor again, trying to claw their way back in, and the layup rolls off the mark. Boy, a point-blank look at it for Union as Garside had that one roll off the side of the rim after what should have been a textbook layup attempt. He did everything right getting to the tin, but couldn't get it to drop, so 11-4 the count here. Skoric wants 3. The big man rattles it home. Score it for Skoric. 14-4. And the threes are raining early here. Skidmore already with 4 threes here in the early stages as a 3 back rimming off. That one goes over the head of Roy out of bounds as that miss from Garside. So Union coming out cold here, and Skidmore coming out red hot. Also, Skidmore's defense has been good in the early stages. I mean, this has been a season where, like I said, they have gotten out to big leads, just have not been able to hold them. I know there's still plenty of time left to go here in this first half, but Thoroughbreds have got to find a way to keep this momentum going. Their offense comes in spurts, and then they hit big dry spells. And against a team like Union, you can't afford those dry spells and let them back in. When you have a big lead and the team comes back in and ties it, takes the lead, that's demoralizing for an offense. That's going to be Aiden Roy on the left-hand side now. He takes the screen. 7 on the shot clock. Roy looks inside the direction of Skoric with the left. No. Cleans up his own miss and scores. Once again, Skoric for Skoric, the big 6'10 junior on the inside, able to put it home. 16-4 here. And it's been all Thoroughbreds early. As Reed pulls it down, thought about the 3 in the corner, instead pulls it down, dribbles out, 3 in the air. That one's good, and first three of the game for Union, and boy, that one they needed. 16-7 here as Christian Dufort, the hometown kid, tickles the Twiline. Again, 16-7 and a quick timeout. 14:28 to go.
Substitution for Skidmore College, number 11, Charlie Weisberg, now on the game.
So Charlie Weisberg checks in. D1 transfer here from Loyola, Maryland. Is down the floor a little bit too strong for Roy. That's cleaned up and put back by Skoric. And again, we're talking about Skidmore having that size advantage. Right now, Union has no answer for Skidmore's size in the inside, which is how it should be when you've got a 4 to 5 inch height advantage at almost every position. As the pull-up shot is good, and another roll in this time for Dufort. The hometown kid rolls in his second three. Leads cut to 8 here, 18-10. Again, Dufort, product of Saratoga Springs High School, the junior. As Roy has Will Yakubian out to meet him. He gets it back to, that was Charlie Weisberg. Weisberg jacks the three, missed side rim and down. So it's going to be Union ball here. Bringing it up, Jaden Jacuri. And there's the drive, pull up. Reed picks up his dribble. And stolen away. And down the floor on the pass, almost knocked away, was Dufort. And Dufort a little frustrated there that he didn't get to that one in time. Haregi was in there as well. Inbound's going to go Weisberg's got to get it in, finds the guard. Back to Weisberg, thought about the shot, now pulls it down. Kicks it left side, that's Padilla. Padilla over to Phantom, wants three, front rim. Boy, that looked good coming off the hands, but a little bit short, dies on the front of the rim, and it's down to Union going the other way. Thought about the three now, pulls it back down. That is Yakubian. Yakubian gets it out, Harrison Collins. They're going to work this thing around the perimeter. Now it's a three in the air, and Union has woken up offensively. Yakubian, the freshman from Cambridge, hits. And Skidmore hit 4 threes in the early stages. Now Union's got 3 of their own. That's an 18-13 game. In what was a 14-4 run to start things off. All of a sudden it's been 11-4 Union the other way. Now Coach Chris Murphy in his 12th season here at the helm from Union, also a graduate of Union, so coaching his alma mater. As the inbound Dufort gets it in. So Union with another possession here after it goes off the foot of a Skidmore player, so it wasn't quite a turnover. It was a defensive play that ended up going out of bounds as fakes the shot, now drives the lane, kicks it corner. That one's going to go off of somebody, but it's going to be Corral. Pulls up, shot clock expires. And the shot from Jaden Haregi couldn't quite go, but now there's Padilla. Padilla turns, spins, looks out to Weisberg. Weisberg to Skoric. Skoric back to Weisberg again. And Weisberg looking for Skoric. Skoric didn't know he was there and was not expecting to have the ball. And that'll be another Skidmore turnover early here. Again, these are the type of plays that happen to the Thoroughbreds that allow other teams back in the game. So now Union trying to get themselves back into this game. They've already cut it down to 5. There's a missed shot. Corralled back out to Yakubian. Yakubian hands off Harrison and Collins. Collins back to Yakubian again. Kicks corner. 3-ball in the air. That one's off the mark and a rebound down to Weisberg. There's the miss there from Jack Plesser. Weisberg over to Padilla, and Padilla has Harrison Collins all over him. Padilla finally fights his way through and finds Medeiros down low, but a foul's called. And boy, Union's defense has really ratcheted up as well. It seemed like Skidmore was doing whatever they wanted out there, scoring at will, making passes. They were open. A lot of the shots from Aiden Roy that set the tone in the early part of this game were wide open. Now it seems like, again, Union's caught up a little bit on defense. There's Weisberg. He wants 3. Steps back rim, no. Lagarde the rebound. Brings it down. Now up off the glass, no. Medeiros is there on the cleanup, and Medeiros goes up and down. Again, a good second chance effort for Medeiros, who jumped with it trying to pass the ball out. Are they going to get the foul call? They are. So one ref signaled up and down as Medeiros came up with it, went for the pass. Got bumped and came back down still holding it. But they're going to say that it was a foul, so Skidmore is going to catch a break there, as it would have been another turnover and give Union even more momentum. But it will stay here with the green and yellow as Weisberg the inbound to Padilla. 11-17 to play. Skidmore up by 5. And there's Fumani Sitole. 3, side rim, no. And there's a foul on the rebound attempt. This time it will be on the Thoroughbreds. So Medeiros, who may have gotten away with a call a minute ago, gets the foul tagged against him here. Now Collins, freshman from Portland, Connecticut, is going to bring it up. He finds Plesser. Plesser is doubled at the corner, and Plesser is going to turn it over. So again, the trap ran in the corner to perfection by the Thoroughbreds, and again, they are trying to do whatever they can to, keep a lead. They did such a good job of getting out to this lead, but again, small little turnovers and little lapses in defenses let Union back in. But it's plays like that Skidmore has not been executing properly that have allowed teams to, stifle some of these leads. So that was a big break here for the Thoroughbreds. Let's see if they can capitalize. Padilla comes around the screen, makes a video game style move, wanted the shot, goes up, instead going to get it down to Downey, who's going to back in his man. Downey trying to use that body, leaves the pivot foot, but hey, he got away with it as he's able to score off the glass. Alexi Downey makes it 20-13, 10:30 to go. Boy, that one was awfully close to being a travel on Downey. As they're working around the perimeter again, there's Dufort. Dufort picks up his dribble early. Dangerous skip pass corner, 3-ball side rim, no. Ripped away from Padilla by Plesser, and now there's a scrum for it on the ground, and it's going to be, I believe, Union ball here on the jump because Skidmore won the opening tip, and it will. So Daphnis checks in for the Thoroughbreds. Tedesco back in for Union as well as Garside. As getting it in now will be Tedesco. Tedesco makes the pass to the wing, and the jumper is good for Will Yakubian, freshman from Cambridge. He's got 4. So now walking it up. It's going to be Padilla. Padilla, another dangerous skip pass, this time by Skidmore, as he cuts it across to Daphnis. Daphnis to Padilla. Padilla uses that size, or rather lack thereof, to kind of slither in between 2 white jerseys and lay it off the 10, kind of with a scoop shot there. Almost impossible to cover. Padilla's going to be on the board his first 2 of the game. The foul's going to be on Downey, his second. And it'll be Teeb's 5th. So the inbound now to Tedesco. Tedesco's got Daphnis out on him. Now he takes the screen. Tedesco pulls up, 15-footer, back rim, no. Rebound is there for Lagarde, and It's going to be a foul, I believe, on the rebound attempt as Union players came out of the scrum clapping. And Coach Joe Burke doesn't like it, but he's going to be animated regardless. For those of you who know Coach Burke, one of the most animated coaches in this conference. As it looks like Aiden Roy is going to come in. Satoli will take a seat. Union also going to make a substitution. So Jaden Hareji comes in, and checking out will be Harrison Collins. 3 ball on the inbound, and that one looked good. Again, coming off the hands, a little bit too much on it. As hit the side of the rim and off, and now it'll be a run out going the other way for the Thoroughbreds. As Aiden Roy had to get underneath that one. That was a bullet pass from Padilla. And it's going to be Downey inside. That offensive? Yes, it is. As Downey was battling inside, and good job of setting his feet was Garside. Again, he lowered the shoulder once, twice. The third time, bailed him over, and as soon as Garside hit the deck, the ref had no choice but to call that offensive. And I mean, again, that's kind of hit or miss. I mean, it really depends on, when the contact happens, if the defender gets back in time. But, he had 3 shoulder blocks that time, and the third one got him. So it comes down to Jack Plesser. Plesser shoots over the head of Downey, rattles off, and rebound to Phantom. 8:45 to go here, 22-15 Thoroughbred lead. Then after that hot start, they've cooled off a little bit as Aiden Roy, back rim, no. Alexi Downey skies for the rebound, back out to Daphnis with a fresh shot clock. Aiden Roy calling out the plays, taking the screen from Downey. Roy drives the lane, up off the glass, rolls it home. Aiden Roy's got 13 and a timeout. Out of the 24 that Skidmore's got, 13 of them are the sophomore from Larchmont. We'll be back after this. Timeout, Union.
Substitution for Governor Chambers, number 32, Brendan Reed, back in the game for Skidmore College, number 14, Joey Scola.
So Union coming out of the timeout, trying to make this game a little closer again, but Skidmore's defense making that difficult for them as the pass down low, and that time they're going to score. And boy, Skidmore a little bit overzealous that time and allowed the run out to the perimeter, and then the nice pass inside and the up and under for Jack Plesser. So 24-17, 7-point Thoroughbred lead, and then look down to Skorik, who almost lost a handle, able to corral those big long arms reaching out. And he was all alone down low and able to put it home. And again, Skidmore's size advantage working here, but Union, that's what they do. They're a quicker team than Skidmore. They love to get out and run in transition, and they do it right there. And you don't usually see a transition bucket off a made shot, but Tanner Tedesco does just that as they get it in Lagarde. Lagarde, he's backing him in, using that shoulder now over to Roy. Roy thought about the shot, pulls it down, up off the glass. That one's blocked, and the putback rolled home for Lagarde. And Skidmore doing things that they haven't done the last couple of games here. And that second chance buckets. And again, Tedesco with the run out on a made basket. And nobody is accounting for number 5 right now. 28-21. He's got 4 quick ones. 7 minutes to play here in his opening half. Back-to-back layups that went the full length of the court for Tanner Tedesco, and he made it look easy. As Roy comes off the screen, looks for Skoric. Skoric all alone at the perimeter, wants the 3. Back rim, no. And it'll be Union ball again. 7-point Thoroughbred lead, 6:40 to play. As Will Yakubian, and that's going to be Union ball still, but boy, he got away with one there as it looked like possibly travel, but it's going to be on the pass attempt, knocked away. And again, the refs are missing a decent amount on both teams here, at least from my vantage point, as they get it down low in the direction of Plesser. Plesser gets mugged, and let's see if Lagarde was in on it. He is, so Lagarde's going to get his second. And now that's 8 on the Thoroughbred, so it'll be Union at the line. Union's already 2 of 2 from the charity stripe here today. Skidmore yet to shoot a free throw, but Union's only got 2 team fouls. First one, it rolls off. So on the 1-and-1, nothing doing there. Lead will remain 7, 28-21, 6:24 to play. Aiden Roy takes the screen. Now finds Skoric again. He wanted that 3 again. That time he passed it off to Daphnis. Daphnis, the laser, across the way to Phantom, who somehow saved it. And finds Daphnis again for 3. Got it. 3 skip passes, and that's always dangerous. The Thoroughbreds passing along the whole length of the perimeter, and it's a 10-point Thoroughbred lead here. 6 minutes to play in this opening half. And now they come out to greet him with that perimeter D. Drives the lane again. There's Tedesco. Tedesco pulls it down over to Yakubian. Now that's going to be knocked away. No foul call. And again, Skidmore catching a break here. A little bit of contact out at the perimeter. And that's going to be Daphnis. Nice look down low to Lagarde. And Lagarde gets fouled. And boy, if Lagarde would have went straight up with it, that was a layup, but we're running back the other way. Instead, he brought the ball down to sort of set himself and tried to go back up with it. And there were 2 white jerseys around him. Luckily, he got the foul and not just a clean block. And now Lagarde can earn it at the line. First trip to the stripe here for any Skidmore player. And back rimming off. Second shot, got it. So Lagarde's got 1 out of 2 here. As Medeiros comes back into the game. Tanner Tedesco takes the screen, drives on Daphnis, kicks corner, 3, Yakubian, no. Oh, no, excuse me, that was Garside, rather. And it's cleaned up and finished by Brendan Reed. So Union with the second chance put back, 5:15 to play. Aiden Roy, he had the hot hand early, and it continues. Aiden Roy with the step-up 3. 16 for him. Boy, what a first half for Aiden Roy as he splashed that one. Just such a confident stroke he's got. When he pulls up and he's even open by a fraction, you know, he's got that swag about him as the up and under move for Garside scores, and he got to the basket. Once he made that initial swim move, he got to the basket unimpeded. Lead is cut to 10 here, 4:52 to play, and we'll be back after this. Again, you're listening to Skidmore Athletics on SkidmoreAthletics.com. 10-point Thoroughbred lead. So out of the timeout, Thoroughbreds holding on to a 10-point lead, 4:46 to play. Playing, besides the Vassar game, arguably their best game of the season offensively so far, as Medeiros gets the offensive rebound on the miss by Skoric, and he's going to be fouled, I believe, on Dufort. Nope, it's going to be on Tedesco. Both Tedesco and Dufort were in there. I wasn't sure which one slapped the forearm first, but they're going to give it to Tedesco. So his first, team's fourth. And it'll be Medeiros at the line, missed the first. Ethan Medeiros, 6'5", sophomore from Hamilton, Bermuda. Second shot is good. So 1 of 2 for Medeiros. As Dylan McCafferty, 6'4", sophomore from Chapel Hill, checks in. Again, Skidmore holding on to an 11-point lead here, 4:30 to go. As the handoff goes to Garside. Garside back across Reed. Over to Tedesco, 3-ball in the air, front rim no for Reed, and the rebound pulled down Medeiros. Over to Phantom. Phantom screaming up the left side of the floor, back over to Daphnis on a skip pass. Daphnis is working against Dufort. Gets trapped, corner, finds Medeiros, and Skidmore's got to get something going offensively here, and they do as they get a good shot, but it looked like they were just kind of stagnant around the top of the arc there until Daphnis freed up, but he missed a jumper. And a nice pass inside, but a good job by Skoric to sort of set his feet properly, and that should have been a layup inside, but Skoric with that length as he made Brendan Reed have to adjust. Ended up getting the foul, but boy, the layup should have came first. It was the second effort that time for Reed that created the foul. Now Reed's going to go to the line for 2. Union 2 of 3 at the charity stripe already, 66%. And got a little help from the tin there as it rolls in. And second one's good.
Substitution number 32, John Lagardner, on the bench, as well as number 15, Aiden Roy.
So now Skidmore, their lead cut back to single digits, 36-27, 3:34 to play. Going to work it around the perimeter again. That's Aiden Roy. Roy is going to blow by and somehow get it to go. Aiden Roy had Dufort all over him. Dufort slapped the ball. I mean, that would have been goaltending regardless, but it actually went in. And he actually got some help on it because it looked like Roy might have been going a little out of control to the rim, and I guess that block from behind by Dufort actually pushed it off the backboard and in. So Aiden Roy has 18 here. Skidmore's back up by 11. Tedesco's at the line as the foul goes against Daphnis. First one's good. Second one is also good. So 38-29, so it goes from 11 to 9. 11 to 9. Both these teams trading punches here. 3:07 to play, and Roy steps into another one side rim and off. It's going to be Union ball down the floor. Tedesco's got it again. Tedesco handoff Plesser. Back to Tedesco, looking inside in the direction of Plesser, knocked away as it looked like Lagarde got a hand on it. Goes into the hands of Medeiros, over to Roy. Roy to the corner, Daphnis. Daphnis, dribble drive, pulls up, and he traveled. So again, Skidmore with a chance to really put the clamps on Union. It just can't seem to, I don't want to say put them away in the first half, but really make things difficult for them. Instead, Union hanging around here because of some mental mistakes by the Thoroughbreds. 2:42 to play. Lead is 9. 38-29 the count. As Kristen Dufort's got it. Dufort over to Garside. Garside drives the lane. He traveled. So back-to-back turnovers here. Good defense by both. As that time Union got a little overzealous as well. As the drive is up, Phantom has it poked away from him, and it's going to be Union ball. No foul call there. That was a clean block as they got a hand on it. Down the floor comes Union again. 2:06 to play, down by 9. Dufort is looking inside, and boy, he had a good look to Plesser. Plesser went up with the finger roll. That one rattled around and off, and Union had a chance for a bucket to cut it to 7. Couldn't get the friendly roll. And to the corner, Phantom wanted 3, no. Boy, neither team able to buy a bucket right now. They had the play drawn out. Phantom was wide open in the corner. Just could not get it to drop. And 38-29 here, minute 34 to play. Again, Skidmore has controlled this entire game. Union has never led. They get it back down to Reed. Reed has to kick it back out, and that one's going to be stolen away. Garside, no, he gives it back. Launches with 2 on the shot clock, and he's going to the line for 3 as, boy, all up in his grill. That time he was about 40 feet from the basket. And really, it probably would have been a low percentage shot regardless, but because of how, I guess, animated he was in the shooting process, Skidmore stepped up, and again, another mental mistake here, and Union has a chance to cut this down to 6, but he does miss the first. So that helps. As again, Garside, sophomore, 6'3", 180 from Kings Park. Missed the second. And now the student section getting loud. And again, he is shooting right into the student section. If you're looking on your screen, you can sort of see them a little bit behind the basket. There's more to it than what you can see. But, yeah, he's shooting right into them, and they're making a lot of noise every time he goes for his release. And he made the third. So 1 of 3 for Matthew Garside. And we're approaching the minute mark. Handoff Phantom. Phantom almost had it stolen by Garside. Instead gets to Padilla. Padilla back out to Phantom. He slices through 2, up and under somehow. Charlie Phantom got it to go. Phantom with the scoop and score. And back down the other side. Lay up the runouts. Nothing there. No call either. And Skidmore back up by 10. 47 seconds now. As Weisberg pulls it down. Went up for the shot. He wanted the foul call. Not going to get it. And it's going to be Union ball going the other way. As Garside, deep 3, that one's good. So Garside gets the 3 back that he left at the line. And it's 40-33 here. In fact, you can add 1. He missed the first 2, got the third, and then he hits a 3 here. So the last 4 Union points come from Garside, and it's a 7-point game, 40-33. Skidmore going to hold for the final shot of the half here, you would imagine. As Padilla. That's 5 seconds, now 4. Step back, jumper, can't get the roll. Boy, that rolled around the front of the rim and fell off. But again, Skidmore has never trailed in this game. They lead by 7 at the half. We'll be back with some stats and analysis around the Liberty League and some scores from other teams in this conference in about 10 minutes. So as the two teams get set to come back on the floor here in just a few minutes, we're going to take you around the Liberty League. Usually I do the stats and stuff first, but I'm back a little bit early this time, so we'll take you around the Liberty League first. Switch things up. Right now in the second half, about 3 minutes into the second half, St. Lawrence leads Bard 49-32. About 17 minutes to go in that one. Ithaca just underway in the second half. They lead Hobart 34-30. Second half, just about 5 minutes gone in the second half out in Rochester, and RPI and RIT are tied at 44 apiece. And Clarkson, with about 12 minutes to go here in the second half, trails Vassar 51-43. We'll keep some tabs on those scores as they come in. In this one, obviously it is 40-33. Skidmore in front of Union. Skidmore sitting at last in the conference, 1-9 overall, 5-12 on the year. This would be a massive home win for them against a Union team that's 4-6 and trying to fight for their positioning and maybe squeeze in to this Liberty League tournament. Neither team shot it exceptionally well in the first half. Union was 11 of 31 from the floor. Skidmore 16 of 36. So that's Union at 35.5%. Skidmore at about 44% and some change. That's usually where teams like to be, in the 45 to 50 range. So they're just under the 45% mark. Union hit 4 threes in the game in the first half. Skidmore hit 6. Free throws, Union was at the line a lot in that first half. They were 7 of 10 for 70%. Skidmore 50%, not too bad, but only took 4 free throws, made 2 of them. Skidmore leads in the rebounding department, something that they have not done a lot this season, despite having the size advantage over most teams. They lead 22-16 in that category. Also with offensive rebounds, 7-5, and defensive rebounds, 15-11. There's been no ties, no lead changes, as Union has never led in this game. Skidmore has led the entire way. Largest lead for the Thoroughbreds was 35-23. So about a 12-point lead there was the largest. Skidmore has 7 assists, Union with 4. Both teams 5 turnovers, not terrible. Both coaches, I think, will take that for the first half. Skidmore with 6 bench points, Union with 5. 2 blocks apiece. Union leads in on-court points, 28-8. So they're dominating in that category, but that's really about the only category that they do lead in. Fast break points, they have a narrow margin, but that was really just because of those 2 made basket transition shots there for Tedesco. Skidmore 3 steals, Union does not have a steal yet. Skidmore 3 points off turnovers, Union only 2. Skidmore points in the paint, 18-12 advantage. And second chance points, they lead 9-8. Skidmore with 11 fouls in that first half, though. Definitely playing a little bit more physical than we're accustomed to them seeing. They paid for it a little bit, which is part of the reason, or in fact most of the reason, or if not all the reason, that Union was on the line as much as they were in that first half. And again, there were no technicals and 34 possessions apiece. Again, we're going to take you courtside for the start of the second half. Right after this, you're listening to the voice of the Thoroughbreds, Chris McSwiggan, on SkidmoreAthletics.com. And second half audio tests, 1, 2. Sounds good. So second half underway here. Thoroughbreds with a 7-point lead, going to start with the ball. And that's Aiden Roy, who had a monster first half. As he's going to get things going inside to Skorick, who can't get the roll off the front of the rim. And again, Skorick, when he puts those arms up, he's got, 5-6 inches above everybody else, but that time just didn't put enough on it. Had the follow through and the hand flip and everything, but couldn't quite get it to roll in. And Union with a chance here to cut into this lead, and they do exactly that as Brendan Reed scores the first 2 of the half for the Chargers. And I'm actually happy I've been saying Garnet Chargers. I'm so used to saying Dutchman for all the years I played Union and then covered them here for the last 10 seasons with Skidmore, but I think I got Chargers down now as Hakeem Daphnis hits the 3 from the corner. And just like that, Skidmore has the answer. 43-35, just underway here in the second. As Plesser gets rid of it, finds Dufort. Dufort, top of the arc, drives the lane now, and that's going to be defensive. And I know the Skidmore crowd here doesn't like it, but Daphnis did have his feet moving. That's going to be, that's going to be defensive every time when the defender is sliding to try to, help out with a double team or whatnot, and the feet get tangled. That, unfortunately, is going to be defense every time. So that'll be the first foul of the half here for either team. As the kick corner, Brendan Reed puts up the 3. No, Daphnis comes down with the rebound. 18:45 to go here. Skidmore looking for a massive conference win and a little bit of momentum perhaps with a gauntlet schedule coming up. As Skorick, he puts those big arms up, back rim, and off. Skidmore, only basket of this half so far was the 3 from Daphnis. Down to Reed. Reed inside, and boy, that's going to be Plesser. And Union making this thing interesting as we thought they would. Again, it's always a barn burner between these two. 43-37. Skidmore, again, was out to a big lead. And Union has been chipping away ever since. Daphnis drives, spins, lost the handle on it, able to corral, get it back, and that's going to be a Skidmore turnover. And boy, you guys just saw it on the screen as well. Daphnis did a good job of battling back after the ball was tipped away, threw it to Skorick. Skorick went to go give it back to him, and Daphnis was running to set a screen, and boy, that was just a throwaway and what could be a costly turnover here for the Thoroughbreds. And that's sort of been the story of their season here with this young team, is mistakes like that, because here comes Union with the 3, and boy, that one was halfway down. So if Union was able to score there, that would have been a huge momentum boost for the Garnet and White. Instead, it's going to be Phantom in the corner. 4-3, yes, sir. So Charlie Phantom left alone, and that's never a good idea, as he hits number 5, has 5, and it's back to a 9-point game again. And now driving into the lane, gets bumped as Dufort. So Phantom gets his first, team second. Skidmore already starting off with some early fouls here. 17:22 to play. Again, Thoroughbreds lead by 9. They've led the whole way. As Plesser to the outside, dribble drive, makes a move, backs his man in, off the stutter step and scores. Little fade away that time for Plesser. He's got 8. Now Aiden Roy goes to set a screen, tries to split 2, step back jumper. Roy back rim, no. Nobody was there in green for the rebound. But there were about 3 white jerseys there as Plesser comes down with the rebound and gets it over to Tedesco. Tedesco left side, has it poked away by Roy, and it's going to, by Downey rather. Roy was also around the play, but it was Downey that slapped it away. But it's going to go out of bounds and stay here with the Garnet Chargers. 46-39 here the count. Lead is 7. Tedesco. He looks inside in the direction of Plesser, and Plesser can't get that one to fall. This time there's 3 green jerseys around and not a white one in sight. So kind of copycat rebounds there for both teams as there's the drive. Daphnis off the glass, no. And boy, another point-blank look for the Thoroughbreds. Doesn't go. And Union, again, with a chance to cut into this lead. The turnaround, Tedesco somehow got it to go as he had to adjust in air. Oh, a tough shot for Tanner Tedesco, but he gets it to drop, and the lead has been cut to 5. 46-41 here. Union hanging around. Skorick, he wants 3. Back rim, no. Rebound to Union, and again, that's not the shot that they need in this situation. Skoric can hit those, but Skidmore is letting Union back in the game because look at that, Tanner Tedesco again, and it's down to a 3-point game. And Union, we knew Union coming in was not the same team. They weren't 12 points worse than Skidmore in terms of, the season and how the seasons went and the talent on this team. Skidmore played fantastic in the first half, but now some more of those mistakes, those mental errors, some of the, lack of defense, the ill-advised shots, they're starting to creep back in here. Skidmore has played very good first halves most of this year. Second half is where things get a little hairy, and that's been the case so far as Union has come out with a 10-6 advantage here in this quarter, and they've cut this lead to 3. And this is a dangerous Union team that if you allow them back in the game, they're going to take full advantage of it. This is the exact same thing that happened with Hobart. Again, Skidmore came out to a big lead against Hobart. Hobart battled back, chipped away, finally tied it, took the lead, and then never looked back, won the game by 10. So Skidmore has a very important possession coming up here. It's almost like it's tough to say that it's a must-have basket when you have a lead, but for momentum purposes, it pretty much is, as they get it inside Downey. Downey almost lost the handle, able to corral it though. Downey backing in his man, and again almost had it stolen away. This time he's on his pivot foot. He does pick up his dribble. There's Phantom, 10 on the shot clock. Phantom to the corner. Daphnis, he wants 3. Yes! And that's the answer that they needed. Hakeem Daphnis hits. And boy, Skidmore really loves to take those threes. They've hit already 9 of them on the day, but they've taken 20. There's the up and under move, and there's the answer again. Garside with a little video game move that time to scoop and score. It's cut back to 4, 49-45. Skoric to the outside, Daphnis. Daphnis has Garside out to greet him. There's the handoff, Phantom. Phantom looks inside to Skoric. Skoric has it stolen away from him, but it goes off of the foot, or maybe the shin area of Brendan Reed. And it'll stay here, but Reed reached right out in front of Skoric. He just couldn't pull it in. And Skidmore's going to get another crack at it here. 14:53 to play, 10 on the shot clock. They got to get it going here. They're in single digits. As Aiden Roy tries to split 2. Union very good perimeter defense. Roy chucks it from 40, and boy, he almost made it. He was almost sitting on the Skidmore bench when he jacked that shot up, and boy, he still almost hit it. 49-45 here, 14:31 to play, and Union comes out of the gate red hot here. 2-point game. As that one's good for Plesser. He's got 10. And here comes Union, battling all the way back as they get it down low. Downey, and he can't get it to go from point-blank range. The hook shot rolls around the tin and falls off, and Union can tie or take the lead here, and they do tie as the pull-up from Tedesco. And they've come all the way back, 49 apiece on a 14-9 run here to start this quarter. Downey out to Skoric. Skoric back to Downey. Downey backing down against, that's Plesser inside, and Downey's going to get fouled, so he's going to go to the line for 2. Again, this league is so competitive. Everybody in this league, despite what their record is, there's just so much talent in this league. Hands down, I would say, and I'm not just biased because I've been here so long. It's I think watching these games for the last 10 years, as the first one is good that time for Downey, is there's just such competition in this league, so much talent in this league. Anybody can beat anybody on any night. And Skidmore has been so close in a couple of these games to really getting some statement wins and just have not been able to close the door. Well, today they've got a chance here. They've let Union back in, but they have a chance here to really kind of put it away. But again, still an eternity left. 13:46 to go as the second one rolls off, and Union can take their first lead of the game here, and that one's off. So still down, but they do chase down their own rebound. Dufort's got it again. Down low, up and under, move, rolls it home, and Union leads for the first time tonight. 51-50. As that one was good for Will Yakubian down low. As Weisberg To the corner, finds Skoric, kicks it back out. Phantom wide open, back rim, no. And boy, that was the most open shot he's had all game. Just couldn't get it to fall. 51-50 is still the count here. 13 minutes to play as Tedesco. He's going to take the screen, kicks corner, and that's going to be a steal for Skidmore. Is losing the handle on it was Jacobian, and Downey was there with good awareness. Jacobian thought about driving the lane and then, thought against it, but by that point, his body had already started moving. So it'll be Skidmore ball here on the jump, so the next possession goes to Union. Skidmore down by 1. Again, they have not trailed until about 30 seconds ago in this entire game. As Padilla kicks it over in the direction of Skoric. The big man goes up with it, cleans up his own miss, and puts it home. Skidmore's back in front. 6'10" Joey Skoric has 11 on the night. And that's going to be defensive on Padilla. Is, again, flying down the floor is Tanner Tedesco. And a little hip check from Padilla there. So his first, team's third, with 12:38 to play. Skidmore narrowly hanging on to a 1-point lead. Get it into Dufort. Dufort over to Tedesco. Padilla's out on him. Now they kick it left. Look at the ball movement by Union, though. They always try to find the open guy and take the best shot possible. Very rarely do they take an ill-advised shot. Even that one was a good shot. It was a better defensive effort that time. No, as Lagarde got a hand on it. And down the floor they come again. That's Phantom. Phantom out to Padilla. Padilla to Weisberg. Weisberg thought about pulling up. Instead, he picks up his dribble. Inside Lagarde. Nice pass in traffic to Phantom. And Phantom got rocked inside. No foul call. The whistle did blow, but it's because it's going to go off of the hip of Christian Dufort, who was there with the block. And again, a beautiful pass inside by Lagarde, who found Phantom. Phantom came off the screen, was charging down the baseline, and almost had a free layup there. But it will stay with the Thoroughbreds as Weisberg gets it in, finds Skoric, thought about the three, now kicks it out Padilla, and Padilla has it slapped away from him by Harrison Collins. But again, it goes into the Skidmore bench, so it will stay here again with the green and yellow. 11 on the shot clock, 12:03 game clock. Again, Skidmore holding on to a 1-point lead. And Collins almost got it again. Padilla able to corral. Now Padilla splits through 2 to the corner. Weisberg, he wants 3, side rim and off. And boy, we've seen him hit a couple of big shots in big moments here so far this season, the D1 transfer, but he's a little bit off today. As again, he had an open shot. And Union with a chance to retake this lead again. Side rim, and he's going to let it go to the sideline and out. So again, Union with a chance to have that answer. And we've seen it multiple times. Bard, Hobart, Ithaca. I mean, the first game against Vassar, any kind of momentum, any kind of score that Skidmore would have, the opponent would come down and have that sort of that crushing answer. Union has not done that yet. They had an opportunity right there, but just could not take advantage. So now Skidmore with a chance to extend again, and Padilla, the smallest guy on the floor, puts it in with contact. 54-51. Padilla is so scrappy, so quick side to side, and when he gets that ball up in the air, he can just flip it over your head. And he's so quick with his release, too. As Fumani Sitoli, that's going to be a foul on the freshman. As Garside tried to get in there with the trees, and Sitoli was trying to give him a big old bear hug, and that's going to be a tag foul for him. So, again, up by 3. They can cut it to 1 here at the line. He's going to shoot 2. Excuse me, that is actually Jaden. First one's good. As it looked like Garside. It was tough to read the numbers from here, but it's actually Jaden Haregi. And if I am mispronouncing that, I do apologize. But Jaden Haregi at the line here. Hits the first and makes the second, so they've cut it to 1. So he has his first 2 here. Padilla up the floor at the white volleyball line. Now makes a move, driving right in traffic, looking for Sitole, couldn't hang on, and it'll be Union ball. And boy, that time it looked like, at least to me, that Sitole was setting the screen. He thought that Padilla was going to take it all the way to the rack, and he had the opportunity to do that, tried to make the unselfish play. Sitole wasn't ready for it, And again, Union with a chance to capitalize on a Skidmore mistake. As again, Bard did it, Hobart did it, Vassar did it, Ithaca was masters at it, and they do it again right there. So again, Union back in front, only their second lead of the game. As the seesaw battle continues, back and forth here. Punches and counter punches, 10:30 to go. Again, Skidmore 1-9 in conference. They are a young team, but desperately need a win here. As again, a winning program who's used to winning. The Liberty League Conference Tournament champion record here. Skidmore's got 5. That's 2 more than anybody else. As the 3 from the corner, no. And the rebound is pulled down out of the sky by Haregi, and it's going to be a jump ball, but it stays with the Chargers. Daphnis and Roy are going to check in. Let's see who they take out. Looks like it's going to be Phantom and Sitoli. So some fresh legs coming in for the Thoroughbreds. Again, down by 1, still plenty of time, a full 10 minutes. As Harrison Collins to the corner finds Dufort. Dufort kicks across Yakubian. Now they're going to work that perimeter. Still plenty of time, both game and shot clock. Haregi over to Collins. Now they're in single digits on the shot clock. Union's got to get going here. No foul call there. 5 seconds on the shot clock, and the shot is up and kind of an ill-advised. I talked about they don't take a lot of ill-advised shots. Well, they kind of wasted some time out on the three-point line, and finally when Haregi had to let go of that shot, there was about 3 on the shot clock, and he had a hand all up in his grill. So, again, Skidmore with a chance now to retake the lead. The chess match continues here at Williamson as they get it into Downey. Coming left side will be Padilla. Padilla around Aiden Roy. He wants 3, but he's going to get 3 the old-fashioned way. As Aiden Roy animated as he hit the deck that time. And again, it wasn't one of those ones that was a hard foul, but when you're up in the air, any kind of contact can make you lose your balance. And when the ref sees that, they're going to call the defensive every time. So Roy here with a chance not only to tie, but to take the lead and put him back up by 2 if he makes all 3 of these. About a 68% free throw shooter on the year. And he makes the first. Doesn't get to the line as much as Coach Joe Burke would perhaps like, but when he does get there, he tends to make the most of it. Roy's second shot rattled home, so little help from the cylinder here on both of those, and Skidmore back in front. He's got 1 more coming. As the speedy Tanner Tedesco back in. Coming out will be Harrison Collins for the Chargers, and 1 more coming here for Roy, and got it. That one was right down Broadway. No help from the orange rim that time. 57-55. 9:22 to play, and again, Union with a chance to tie or take the lead, but Skidmore's been playing pretty good defense around the perimeter. As they drive the lane, looks inside, there's a tie game. As the score inside, again, Haregi. Daphnis wants 3. Money. Absolute money. And Daphnis, I mean, he can hit that shot. He's been struggling a little bit outside from the line for, you know, the last couple of conference games, but boy, when he's feeling it and he's got that confidence, he can shoot with the best of them, and again put Skidmore back up, but Union cuts it to 1. And here comes the answer that we talked about that Union hasn't had all game. And you know, Skidmore, just their inability to put people away this season has really contributed to this bad conference record, as this game really should not be this close the way that both of these teams have played, but you got to give Union the credit for battling back and, you know, taking advantage, or at least starting to take advantage of some of these Skidmore mental mistakes. As Haregi's got it again. 8:13 to play, 1-point Thoroughbred lead. They kick it out. Yakubian, he wants 3 off the tin, no. And a rebound down to Lagarde. Back up the floor, and again comes Daphnis. Daphnis has 2 out on him. They got to double him, and why wouldn't they? The way he's been shooting this game, and there's going to be a foul on the drive. I don't think they're going to give him shots here, but it looks like he's making his way to the line. And he is, so they're saying it came on the, oh no, okay, they are going to give it to him on the side. I was going to say there's no way he was going up for a shot there. Usually I like to try to call things in Skidmore's favor, but yeah, he was not taking a shot when the foul occurred. So they will get it on the end line, and coming out will be Dufort. Garside will check in. Roy with the inbound and finds the 6'10 Skoric. Skoric picks up his dribble in the corner. Well, he's able to get his dribble back as it was kind of poked away by Plesser, and then tried to make the pass into Dowdy, and that one's knocked away by Reed. So, again, Union making things difficult on the interior for the Thoroughbreds. As they do get it in. Now they work the perimeter again. There's Daphnis, drives the lane. Layup is there, and he missed it. Oh, my, he missed it. I mean, he was skying up like he was going to dunk, and then he missed it on the left side. I mean, that's one that you got to have in this situation, and one he's definitely going to want back, because now Union can retake the lead here. As, again, the guy who's been super aggressive offensively for them, Jaden Haregi, sophomore from Wallingford, PA, and again, can tie and take the lead here with a pair. Reggie's first one rattles home. So going into the half, there were no ties and no lead changes. And now there's been 4 of each. Make it 5. As Haregi gives the lead back to Union. Work it back around the perimeter again. Skidmore trying to put Union away, trying to get a statement win in what has been a thoroughly disappointing season for the Thoroughbreds, as there's the corner shot, and that one almost got some help from the rim, but again, the jumper no good for Skoric. Union now can extend the lead. They've been, getting a 1-point lead every single time. They've never led by more than 1. But it's not going to happen on that drive. As another nice block. Skoric got a hand up and altered that shot in the air. Skoric again, taking it all the way down the floor, and I don't know what kind of that was, as he didn't set his feet, kind of just finger rolled it up, but there was a miss on the other side. So Union with the transition miss. And Haregi, who's been so good here in the second half, missed a point-blank one there. Skidmore catching yet another break with 6:31 to go here. It's almost crunch time for the Thoroughbreds, as Downey can't get the roll. And boy, it's been about 3.5 minutes for the Thoroughbreds, as they just cannot buy a bucket. Again, they're scoreless in the last 3:16 here. (61-60), Union still in front. Drives baseline, stolen away. Skoric put those long arms out, and those big mitts snatched it out of the sky. Into the corner, Phantom, he wants 3. Side rim, boy, Phantom is not feeling it from 3 here today, as Phantom, again, hit 3 threes in a row the other day against, I believe it was in the Bard game to start things off, but he is not feeling it. He's not in rhythm right now. But you know who is in rhythm? Tanner Tedesco, and it's the largest lead of the afternoon for Union, 64-60. And this is how the Thoroughbred season has went. They've had big leads. They've let teams back in. They've let them extend leads, and then teams have not looked back. And, boy, the Thoroughbreds now were coasting for a majority of this game. They got some work to do here, down by 4. We'll be back right after this. Timeout, Thoroughbreds. First time that these two teams met, way back at the beginning of the month, about 20 days ago to be exact. It was January 11th. Union had 4 players in double figures. They were led by Jack Plesser. He had 17. Reed had 14. Tedesco had 13. And Dufort had 10. So far here today, Garside with 10. Tedesco's got 15. And Plesser with another 10. Union won that game 80-57 with a 47-point second half. So far, they've got 31 of those 47 with 5 minutes to go here. Again, Skidmore down by 4. Aiden Roy trying to make something happen. He pulls up, contested 3, and it doesn't matter as Aiden Roy starting where he left off. As again, he had the first 11 points for Skidmore here in this game and cuts it back to 1. 5:02 to play. Whistle blew before the block. And Skorick will pick up his 3rd. So there's the 6th as well. One more and they're in the bonus here. And Union's been very good at the line so far today. 11 of 14, about almost 80%, 78 and some change. As the 3 ball in the air didn't touch anything, Skorick is there. So again, Brendan Reed with a chance to really deliver the dagger for Union instead gives a little bit of life to the Thoroughbreds, who have to take advantage right here. Roy back out, Phantom Daphnis left side, 4:32 to play. Haregi out on him, back to Phantom again. Skidmore content to work around the perimeter here, not even looking inside. And another 3, and another make, as Akeem Daphnis puts the Thoroughbreds back in front. Cash money for number 23. 66-64. Again, the Thoroughbreds now have taken almost 30 threes in this game. In fact, they've taken 29 of them to be exact. Sort of another thing that's been the story of their season. They live and die by the 3 ball. And when they're not hitting, they're not going to win very many games. Right now, 11 of 29, 66-64. There's the drive up. Haregi has it thrown in the next week by Skorick, but there to grab it was Daphnis, but he was already on the end line. So 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. So Union's going to have to get something quick. As Haregi comes out. In's going to be Garside, and now there's 4 on the shot clock. There's no foul call. Instead, it's going to be a Union player losing his own footing there. I didn't see the jersey number. There it is, 33, Jack Plesser. So now 4 on the shot clock. So 1 second less to set something up, and they get it in. Plesser again. He makes the move. 2-1, throws it up in traffic off the rim. No, but he rips it away from Skorick. And a 3 in the air. Back rim, no. Skying to get it is Phantom. And Skidmore back in front again here. And again, Union not able to do what the last 4 teams have done, and that is put the nail in the coffin here. Still some life in this Thoroughbred team, up by 2 with 3:26 to play. Coach Joe Burke animated as usual. And another timeout. So a full timeout for the Thoroughbreds. So we will step aside here. Grab a drink, pay some bills, do what you got to do here. 3:26, we got a good one at Williamson. So RPI, they come in here on Sunday. Again, not your traditional, double-day doubleheader, and that's just because they're out in Rochester tonight playing against RIT, and it's just with the travel, with the weather and all that, is too much. So they moved the game to Sunday. That'll be at 2 o'clock. RPI right now is in a battle with RIT. We'll grab that score for you here in a minute as Roy is going to let that bounce in front. He's going to have Tedesco out on him. Over to Daphnis. Daphnis kicks across. That is Phantom. Phantom to Roy. Roy has Tedesco guarding him. Roy, oh, he thought about that deep three. Instead, he pulls up, and the fadeaway front rim, maybe not the shot he wanted to take there, is, again, contested, fading away. When Skidmore needed to try to extend this lead, now they give another chance to Union. So out in Rochester, it's 74-70, RPI in front, and that's actually overtime in RIT. So, again, another overtime game here for RIT as there's a turnover for Union. Again, RPI 14-3, first place in this conference. Looks like they're going to get a win in overtime out in Rochester before they come in here on Sunday afternoon. Skidmore trying to hang on to a win, get only their second conference win of the year. And weirdly enough, both teams were deep red, Vassar and now Union, hopefully. As Lagarde turns around, didn't touch anything. That's going to be a shot clock violation. And again, maybe not the shot you want Lagarde taking from that distance on a turnaround, but he's the only guy who was able to flash open. He had to get the ball up. So they're going to make Union go the entire length of the court here. 2 minutes to play. Again, hanging on to a narrow 2-point lead. Always a classic between these two. Nothing changes again here as, again, Union has outscored the Thoroughbreds 31-26 this half, but again, Skidmore took that big lead into the break. And now they're in the bonus as that one's going to be given to Phantom, his third, team seventh. They'll be 1-1. As Garside, sophomore, 6'3", 180 from Kings Park down on Long Island. And he can tie the game here with under 2 to play. First one right down Broadway. Second shot coming for Garside and rattles off. And the big hands of Skoric go up to get it. So Skidmore with something we haven't seen very often this year, a late lead with under 2 to go. 66-65. Again, got blown out by Union earlier this month. Sort of a revenge game here for the Thoroughbreds as they try to hang on against, I would say, one of their arch rivals. I mean, it's a local rivalry, them and RPI. Traditionally, it's Hobart that is their rival, but I mean, when you're talking Capital District bragging rights here, you've got these three schools at this level. And looking to split here with Union. As Daphnis has 5 in a shot clock. Has to get rid of it. He takes the fadeaway, rattles off, and that's going to be saved. What a save that time, inbound by Dufort. That one very easily could have stayed here with the Thoroughbreds. Instead, it'll be Dufort saving it. 1 point game here. Nice pass in space down low. Skoric with the up and down. And great defense there. Forced to skip past. Tedesco wants 3. Money. Tanner Tedesco's got 18, and Union's back in front by 2. Under a minute to play here. Thoroughbreds with a turnover. And that is not what they needed, and that's, again, what's been plaguing them all year is Roy tried to find Phantom. And this would be heartbreaking for the Thoroughbreds. Again, playing arguably their best game of the year outside of the Vassar game when they had 90 points. This has been a battle all the way through against a team that beat them by 23 earlier this month. And now we got a 2-point game with 50 seconds. You have to get a stop defensively. I understand they were down by 4, and it took them less than a minute to come back from that last time, but time is not on their side here. They have to get a stop, force a bad shot, maybe get a turnover, something like that, because a Union bucket here will be disastrous here for the hopes of the Thoroughbreds. And again, you got the number 1 seed coming in on Sunday afternoon out of this gauntlet schedule for the Thoroughbreds, which when you look at it here, they've got obviously tonight, then the number 1 seed, RPI, coming in, then Ithaca, who's the 2 seed, Bard, who beat them, who's always scrappy, then at Hobart, at RIT, St. Lawrence. I mean, you've got arguably the toughest stretch of your season coming up. This is a game that was very winnable for them for the majority. And you hate to say it, but there's a very good chance that they don't get a win here tonight. They may not get another conference win. Don't want to say dire straits, I guess, for the Thoroughbreds, but again, arguably the most important defensive possession of their season so far. As Downey checks in. 68-66, 50.5 to go. And it pretty much comes down to this possession. A Union bucket here, I don't want to say seals it, but it'll be awfully close. A three probably will seal it. As Tedesco steps back, Roy's out on him. Going to take it to the main of that horse logo at midcourt. 29 seconds. This is what you play for, folks. Liberty League basketball at its finest. There's the drive. He's getting it, blocked by Skoric. Skoric skied up, threw it into next week. And boy, that was a great job of Brendan Reed coming off the screen, driving baseline. Had nothing but the 10 in front of him. Skoric came out of nowhere. And now 2 seconds on the shot clock. It's not quite a catch and shoot situation, but it's close. And it's going to be a shot clock violation, I believe. But Skidmore touched it last. So, I mean, are they going to add one more to the shot clock? Or how does that work? Is, again, the shot clock did go off after Aiden Roy knocked it out of bounds. And it will be shot clock violation. And Coach Chris Murphy doesn't like it. I mean, why would he? 20.3 to go here. So Skidmore got the stop that they needed. Forced the shot clock violation, even though it was in unorthodox fashion, but they got the stop that they needed. And in situations like this in the past, you had guys like Evanis Rupkis who could go down and score. You had Alden Medunigan who could go down and score. Who could play hero here? Shot clock's been turned off. 12 seconds. Daphnis drives. He missed the layup. No foul called. And now the foul on the rebound attempt. Hakeem Daphnis was a half an inch from tying this game. That one rolled around and off. And, I mean, a heck of a play coming out of it wasn't even a timeout, just coming out of the break. Daphnis, who has been so good all game long, 12 points here for him. And that would have tied the game. We're probably looking at an overtime situation perhaps. And now you got 2 free throws potentially coming for Union. And boy, that is heartbreaking for Daphnis. As again, Hakeem Daphnis, 6'3", sophomore from Randolph, Massachusetts. Had about as good a look at it as you're going to get. Just the basketball god said no. 8.4 to go with some free throws coming. As again, Skidmore trying to get another conference win. It seemed like when they played this Union team before, back when they were in the midst of that long losing streak, that 5-game skid that they went on, when they went out to California, lost to Pomona Pitzer, and then they had RPI, Union, RIT, Hobart all in a row that were losses. They just weren't scoring a lot of points. They weren't really doing much of anything. I mean, they just looked, discombobulated, disjointed. They were making the kind of turnovers that we saw late in the game here. Their shots weren't falling in key situations, and as the conference play has went along, the last couple of games, they have actually made some big shots and some big moments. Their issue was they couldn't stop anybody. This time they had the opportunity to go win it and just couldn't do it on that one. Now they got to hope for at least one miss here. And first one's good. So a 3-point game with 8.4 as Brendan Reed hits the first. Skidmore with a slim chance, but a chance nonetheless. And there's the miss that they needed. It's popped out. Daphnis has it. That's going to be Aiden Roy. Pulls up for three. Roy, no! Back rim, and it's off. And boy, this place would have exploded if he hit that. And instead, it's going to be heartbreaking fashion once again for the Thoroughbreds. Roy had a great look at it. And it looked like they called the foul on the rebound, but I think they're just going to let time expire here. And that's going to be the final 69-66 in arguably probably the most crushing loss for them this season, as they had it today. They're going to drop to 1-10 in conference play, probably out of the conference tournament here. But, hey, you know, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and they got three of the best coming in here in the next couple of weeks as RPI comes in Sunday. Then they're at Ithaca, at Bard, at Hobart, at RIT before the final two conference games. But, again, Skidmore had it today, a valiant effort, but they're going to drop to Union and get swept by Union for the second year in a row. 69-66, voice of the Thoroughbreds, Chris McSwiggan signing off with you. We'll see you Sunday afternoon as RPI comes in here. They won in overtime against RIT. Looking to do the same here again. Once again, Thoroughbred basketball. We'll see you.